Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live coverage of the inauguration of Joseph R. Biden Jr. as the 46th President of the United States. The President-elect right now at this moment attending a service at Washington St. Matthew's Cathedral, accompanied by a bipartisan delegation of congressional leaders. But in less than 2 hours, he will take the oath of office at the Capitol, and Kamala Harris will be sworn in as Vice President. Truly a historic day.
Yeah, we just saw the Capitol all dressed up and ready to go. It's historic because the current president, Donald Trump, chose not to be here. He left town this morning after a ceremony at Joint Base Andrews. He's now flying home aboard Air Force One to Florida. He's the first president not to attend his successor's inauguration since the Civil War. There's a lot of reasons there will be history today. That's one of them.
Yeah, and he did wish the new administration the best and said he would pray for them. There is so much that's different about today's ritual of democracy. No crowd of thousands on the mall because of the pandemic, which has now claimed more than 400,000 American lives and counting. Extremely tight security throughout Washington because of the assault on the Capitol, of course, 2 weeks ago today by a mob of Trump supporters intent on stopping the electoral vote count. That riot led to the impeachment of Donald Trump. Just 1 week later, his Senate trial is still pending.
But today is to look forward. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have their day ahead of them, pomp, ceremony, and also a day of great ambition. They say they intend to hit the ground running, eager to put their agenda in place, and obviously some of that will have to do with taking part some of the Trump legacy as well. We want to give you an overview of what the events of the day will look like. As mentioned, the president-elect Joe Biden just finishing up that church service in Washington, D.C.
In just a few moments, the events move just 2 miles to the southeast to the U.S. Capitol. The swearing-in ceremony will get underway at 11:15 Eastern Time on what's known as the west front of the U.S. Capitol, with Lady Gaga singing the national anthem and performances by Jennifer Lopez and Garth Brooks. And at 12 noon, Joe Biden will officially become the 46th president, taking the oath of office and delivering his inaugural address in the very spot where those rioters stormed the Capitol exactly 2 weeks ago. The contrast couldn't be any more striking.
Yeah, and then this afternoon, just after 2 o'clock, President Biden, Vice President Harris, and their spouses will be joined by former first couples Obama, Bush, and Clinton for a wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Then comes the inaugural parade, which, of course, will be different this year. It will mostly be virtual, a nod to, of course, the pandemic and also security concerns. We will see the new president and vice president being escorted to the White House, but we will not see those usual crowds.
And capping off the day, in place of the usual inaugural balls, tonight a primetime star-studded televised special hosted by Tom Hanks that will get underway at 8:30 Eastern Time.
So we've got a lot to get to today. Let's get started. Our team is in place. Let's start with NBC's political director, Meet the Press moderator Chuck Todd, also Chief Washington correspondent Andrea Mitchell. Not first inauguration for either of them. Chuck, I'll start with you. We saw the president's send-off. What did you make of it?
Well, look, I mean, as we wrote this morning in First Read, 2 months ago, right after we declared Joe Biden the winner, I think you would have said, boy, Donald Trump was a failed one-term president, but a successful leader of a political movement that is here to stay. 2 months later, he imploded in his inability to accept the loss.